it's Alvin Brown, CEO and founder of the Center for Healing and Peak Performance and Integrated Peak Performance Services. I'm also the author of Journey to Personal Greatness, Mind, Body, and Soul, a blueprint for life balance and self-mastery, available at all your major bookstores, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, Amazon, and in Canada, Chapters Indigo online. All right, so this is Humpday Hustle. This is a part of the week where we talk about how to work on the body, the structure, the function, nutrition, because you can have all the goals you want, but if this body isn't strong enough to take you where you want to go, it's all for naught. And this is the way it flows. In case it's your first time with me, this is the way it flows. Monday, I'll give you 3 videos, mind, body, and soul. Monday is Monday Mindset. I'll give you a video, a little checkup from the neck up, information about mental and emotional balance. Wednesday, Humpday Hustle today. We're going to talk about structure, function, how to keep the body running right. And Saturday, Soulful Saturday, how to nurture the soul, give you a little food for the soul, because again, there's no use running up that ladder of success when it's set against the wrong wall and you're not remaining authentic to who you are. So this is Humpday Hustle. I have the privilege now of calling on a friend of mine, an associate, and I'm going to use his gym to give you a little bit more flavor, and this will be great because now I get to add a little more environment to the background that you always see. And it adds authenticity to what I'm doing and giving you more power so I can use equipment that Mr. Jason Persaud, he's the owner of Holistic Human Performance, and he's located close to me in Pickering, Ontario. So if you ever check him out on your website, if you're ever in the area, check out his gym. It's an amazing gym, amazing services. All right, so we're collaborating and looking at future collaborations. So here's what I want to talk about today: shoulder injuries. I want to talk about 2 particular muscles. The shoulder is crossed by many different muscles to help it function right. And it's one of those joints in your body that gives you 360 degrees of motion, forward, backward, up, down. So when you have all that flexibility, you're going to have instability. You're going to be open to problems. So I want to talk about, we can choose many muscles, but I want to talk about 2 muscles in particular that kind of correlate with each other. And when one goes weak, the other one tends to follow. Those 2 muscles are subscapularis and serratus anterior. And they're often overlooked when you talk about shoulder, because a lot of times, people be doing these exercises and these ones, and they're working on the shoulder, but they're missing these 2 key muscles. And I'm going to show them to you. So the first one is serratus anterior. You can locate that one when you see someone, swimmers, bodybuilders, athletes, when they're really in shape. You can see, they call it serratus because it looks like a serrated edge. 9 serrated muscles running up and down the side of the ribs. You'll see them there. And those ones they're key in helping to lift your arm up and down in that fashion. They're key in doing that. The next one is subscapularis. In your shoulder blade or your scapula, in the inside here, there are muscles that control rotating your arm inward like that. From here to here. If you're throwing a ball, any other action, you need subscapularis to work. So those 2 muscles, what I've found over time is they tend to get dysfunctional together. When you find one, you'll typically find the other. And you got to really address those 2 if you want to stabilize the shoulder. So we're going to talk about those 2, and then I'm going to give you some strength exercises that you can do to help address those. Because a lot of times when you're working out, stabilization when your shoulder goes bad, it's bad news. Pec is affected. You can't work out with pec. You can't do deltoid shoulder. It's huge, especially for building in bodybuilding and fitness community, which is the one we work in, or anything else, any other athlete. Take a sport, swimming, baseball, you name it. When the shoulder doesn't work right, everything goes off. So shoulder is hugely important. So I want to talk about those 2 muscles. Now I want to show you a couple of quick things. If you're at home or if you're at the gym with a buddy, I want you to try out these 2 to check your serratus anterior. What I want you to do is to hold the arm up, the arm you're testing, hold it up, but don't hold it beside them. Let's turn this way, Jason. Don't hold it beside them. What I want you to do is to take it forward about 10 degrees forward, and then that's the right way to test it. Then turn this way again. What I want you to do is to ask your subject to hold it there for you, your friend or whoever, and you're going to push down on that arm. And if it's strong, that arm will hold. Now remember, this hand, I want you to stabilize the shoulder blade when you're doing it. Don't just leave it hanging because you'll tip him over. Stabilize. Hold, and you're gonna push down, and it's nice and strong. If it goes weak, let it go, Jason. What happens is, boom, it drops, and there won't be any strength here. And that affects the whole shoulder blade stabilization. The next one, the subscapularis, you're gonna turn his arm in this way, like that. And now be mindful that it doesn't move around when you're testing it. Block it with your chest. And what I want you to do is you're gonna push up and he's gonna resist you. Hold that. Nice and strong. So those are the two muscles, that's subscapularis. If it's weak, what'll happen is Jason, just give me a little resistance, but release, boom, it goes up. And that's what happens when it's weak. So those are the two muscles I want you to test. And if they fail, then I'm gonna give you a couple of, first of all, I would suggest getting therapy. You should always have your team together to check. It may be a nerve thing coming from the neck. It may be other muscles that are interacting with it. In the acupuncture meridian system, it could be the heart meridian or the lung meridian for the serratus, but that's getting technical. But let's keep it simple. Get into your therapist and get the nerves checked, because the nerves feed the muscle. Otherwise, I'm going to show you a couple of quick exercises you can do to strengthen them up. All right, we're back. All right, so we're back. So the first one I want to show you is the serratus anterior, how to strengthen that up. And that's called the pullovers. We're using a dumbbell. All right, we got Jason here. He's going to go through that whole thing, and we're going to take you through the range of motion. All right, Jason, let's see it. Going to take it back. And as you can see, the dumbbell is coming overhead and it's going below. And what he's going to do to start it back up again from the beginning is use the muscles on the inside of the serratus to get that over. And he literally hangs the dumbbell mid-chest, and that's the end and the start position at the same time. And he goes back, and every time he does it, he's controlling it using the serratus muscle to control the scapula as they wing out. And he's going to do that and back again. So all of this is controlled, and every time Jason's thinking about the serratus, forget about triceps and the shoulders. It's all in here. Eccentrically, or negatives are being controlled by the serratus. The concentric or the positive is being controlled by the serratus. Everything begins and ends with the serratus anterior muscle, and he's going to get those strengthened up. And elbows, he's remembering to keep them in so they don't flare out and lose the total control of that serratus. All right, begin and end with the serratus. Boom, just like that. All right, awesome. All right, Jason, come on up. All right, now we're gonna go to let's go to the subscapularis muscle. So we're back now with the second exercise for the subscapularis muscle. And now I got Jason hooked up. This is a TheraBand here, hooked up to, and you can fasten it to something stable on the other end. And he's just gonna perform this movement with internal rotation, because the subscap, that's what it does. It enables you to go internal, and that's what we're gonna strengthen up. So he's gonna make sure and keep a nice 90-degree angle with your arm and your body. So nice 90-degree angle, your elbows are 90 degrees, and you're gonna be strict when you rotate, like you're throwing a ball. You're gonna be really strict with keeping that elbow, that arm, steady. Just like that. Nice and steady. Don't allow your arm to move around. Like if Jason was doing it and his arm was swinging around, he'd be completely missing the subscap and tying into pec, shoulders, using some other muscles. So if you want to be real specific, it's literally 90 degrees, and being really strict. Lower your tubing, your resistance, if you find that you can't do it fully and get the technique in there. All right, and you're gonna do reps and sets. Let's try 3 sets of 10. Higher reps. Since it is simply tubing, you're gonna do higher reps because the weight is less. And as you get higher, you lower it. Same as the serratus anterior. You're gonna, if it's a lower weight, you do higher reps just to get it all strengthened up. But the main thing is to make sure the technique is right, and then you're good to go. All right? Awesome. All right, so I want to thank Jason again, my man. All right, so I want to thank Jason. This is Humpday Hustle. We're gonna be having more. I'm fortunate to have Jason help let me use his gym because I want to add more value to what I do for the Humpday Hustle. So we'll be over here working with Jason. He's going to give you some tips himself, share some of his knowledge, and we can get different actions going in here to offer more value to you. So until next time, take care of that shoulder, serratus anterior, subscapularis, because I want you to be relentless in your pursuit for your personal greatness.